You're listening to Tell This Story. I'm Doug White, a veteran, retired law enforcement officer, and the author of Hiding in Plain Sight. This is a platform for those who serve in our families to share their experiences and help one another grow. This isn't therapy. It's truth, the tactics, and a way forward. It's an opportunity to become stronger than before, together. This episode is fueled by Polestar Coffee, veteran-owned and operated craft roasted coffee for people who live on the X. Use code THISSTORY at checkout for 10% off your order. Now let's get to work. Welcome to Tell This Story. Hey, welcome back to Tell This Story. This is your host, Doug White. This is episode 1 of season 3. Yes, I decided to resurrect this thing of ours. And
Doggy!
And that's John Kelly. He is kicking off the inaugural episode of season 3. He was with us last season, and John is he is my adopted big brother. I don't know why he took me in. Maybe we'll get to that today. John is the host of Sometimes Heroes Need Help podcast. He is the author of Surviving Self-Inflicted Wounds, A Deputy's Life of Redemption. He's a speaker. He is nationally known. He is one of my personal heroes, my mentor, and well, he's a hell of a swell guy. John, how you doing, buddy?
Dude, I tell you, it's always great, man. And I used to say it's always great talking with you, man, but we've had the opportunities to break bread and present together and go to places. And it's, just when you think you're done making new friends, somebody like you comes along, brother. And, you know, it's such a exciting time to be alive and living this life, man.
I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah, right?
It's funny because you told me a year ago I'm going to be talking to John Kelly. I'll tell you you're full of shit. You tell me again that we're going to be texting each other 3 and 4 times a week, making plans for dinner at the holiday.
Yeah,
you know, the holidays. It's a whole different level, man. So
good stuff.
Anyway, hey, bro. The reason I wanted to talk, well, I got several things that I want to talk to you about, but you got a big project coming up. You announced it on LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to announce it to the, whoever's going to be listening to this.
Right.
What's going on, man?
Dude,
what's the book?
The whole reason for this big announcement is you, man.
Yeah.
It really is. So I've been toying with the idea of narrating my book, putting an audible version of it out. It seems like if you want to reach a lot of people, people have busy lives and not everybody has the time to dedicate to reading, right? I mean, if that's not your jam, everybody's in a car, everybody has headphones, everybody's working out or going for a walk or driving to work. And so you can deliver that message in that audible form, right? And that just made sense. You did that with Hiding in Plain Sight. And I was just like, when you did that, I was like, all right, how did you do that? Because I'm not paying somebody $5,000 to do that. Like, how did you do that? And you were like, oh, you got $15 for this program. Do this, check that, dedicate some time.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you've got a company that's checking your levels with all the technical equipment that, you know, audio engineers have. And I was like, really? Like I have time. I can do that. And, and so, you know, if you love the sweet melodic tones of my voice and it's the last thing you want to hear before you go to bed, then buy the audio book when it comes available. I know, good God, who would want to do that to themselves? But yeah, man, so I'm in the process. It could take about a week and a half for them to make sure that everything is formatted properly. And so I'm hoping sometime next week for this project to be ready to be rolled out.
Well, we're launching this thing on Tuesday. So what is that, like the 4th or 3rd or something?
Yeah.
So this is coming out next week. So we've got days. Yeah. And of course, I'm going to push this out on all my socials and all that stuff.
I appreciate that, man.
And tag you, no, dude, because it's great because I've seen you present. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've not seen John Kelly present, I got to tell you, I've seen a lot of people present. I've seen a lot of people teach. And of course, you know, you're a pro. You got 30 years with Broward. You were in the training division. You've done it all. but the way that you present, man, buddy, you empty the tank. It's incredible. I knowing you and seeing you get into the zone that morning that you presented, you were just kind of easing and ramping. You were
Yeah.
very introspective, and then you went up there and you just put it all out, and you still had enough for the people who came up to the table and wanted to speak to you and all that stuff. But
Right.
brother, you put on it. You put on a fucking clinic. I mean,
Yeah.
it was
Thanks, man.
incredible. And I know your story. I took a page of notes, and
Yeah.
now it was great. So for you to be able to tell the story, um, in your book, in your own words, and to hear your inflection and your passion come through,
Yeah.
it's so much different than me reading it thinking, I think this is what John's saying. No,
Right,
you're
right.
actually going to be able to feel it. So I'm looking forward to it myself.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's funny, right? Like, why would I read my book again? Right?
Yeah,
Like, I was forced to. I was
it's
forced
rough, isn't
to.
it? It's rough.
You're like, God damn. And you know what? I took I so a lot of I used that rereading of my book. And again, I think it was maybe I put it out 4 years ago, maybe
Yeah. Yeah. In
2020.
fact, our last episode together, I mentioned that it was your 4-year
Yeah,
anniversary of you
I
being
think so,
published.
right? So,
Yeah.
I don't read my book, like, right? But when I had to read it, I was like,
Shit.
I was like, "Shit," but you know what? Because I've grown, you know what my takeaway was? "God damn, son, look how far you've come." Like, again, before we hit record, we were talking about, the chapters in our life when we fail and
Mhm.
we hurt others and we're not our best selves. And literally, that was the chapter. But you turn the page, man, and you
Yeah.
start a new chapter. And like I did not it did not side rail me. It didn't get me upset. A couple places it did. I made the mistake of narrating while Nicole when my Nicole was in the other room. And it wasn't even that chapter where I talk about me fucking intentionally dismantling our relationship. Um it was something, that I was talking about a case that I had worked as a patrol deputy, and it got her really upset, and she had to leave the house. I was like, I come back in and she was all upset, and she's just like, "Why don't you tell me you were gonna do this?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It brought her like, "You never told me."
Yeah.
Right? And so then we had to, you know, clarify and communicate better. Like, "Hey, I'm going into the office. I'm gonna be narrating. I'm loud. I'm talking about chapters 4, 5, and 6 today. So I think you're safe. But if we get to chapter 7, you might want to go shopping or do some gardening or something. Get outside, you know?
Yeah, and I had to do it when the house was empty,
Yeah.
um, because I knew that there were gonna be some things that sparked me, and, it had been a year since, the manuscript went to publish when I started the process, and it's only been out a month on Audible. It's done well, got a lot of good feedback, but for me to go through it again, I hadn't touched it in a year, and
Yeah.
like you said, going back with a lens of not healed, but healing eyes and
Yeah.
looking at where I've come, I was still too fresh having, lived it live and then having to live it out loud, narrating it.
Yeah.
Going back to it, and, there were some parts that were hard.
Yeah.
Nightmares came back, but they were different.
Mm.
They weren't horrific and scary nightmares. They were more, they were heavy dreams of forgiveness and introspection. They still disturbed me. They still woke
Yeah.
me up, but they were different.
Hmm.
And, I had to do a lot of work. I mean, I grew just through that, revisiting it and now putting that to the backpack of experiences that have made me grow. So, yeah, it was tough. It was
Yeah. And
tough.
I think that that lesson is, listen, your past is always going to be there.
Mhm.
Right. It's where do you file it away?
Yeah.
Right. where do you file it away? And when you had to reread your book, that file folder got moved
Right back up to the
right
front.
back up
Yeah.
front, right? And
Time to
so
open this shit up again.
right, so and that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
And so, but now, all right, that file, time to move the file back in the archive,
Yep.
right? Not front and center. It's not something I'm going to be living every day. But you're right, and that's with any kind of trauma. Like where do you decide to keep it, right? Because it's not, you can't throw it away. It's always, you can't unsee things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a neat lesson that um you didn't, because of the necessity of reading the book for the audible, you intentionally brought it to the forefront. But had you not done that, it's filed away, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and I'm
And that's how,
beyond it now,
yeah,
but
of course, right.
yeah.
And I think, people can just understand that, like, that's your choice. You can keep it front and center, or you can work through it, do the things that we know one needs to do to cope with trauma, stress, anxiety, depression in a positive, healthy way,
Mhm.
right? And then when you do that, it gets filed away appropriately. If you don't address it in a healthy way, well, then that file stays front and center.
Yeah, it
It
does.
never gets put to where it needs to go.
Yeah, no, you're right. So yeah, your Audible when it comes out, I can't wait. I
Yeah,
highly
it'll be good.
recommend everybody gets it. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk to you about because it's important to our relationship. A lot of things are important to our relationship, but for you, what is the importance of mentorship? Being a mentor and having a good mentor.
You know, great question. I think sometimes we think that, like, being a mentor is this thing that gets assigned. Like, remember at work, they're like, "All right, we're gonna have a mentorship program,"
Yeah, so
and
stupid.
like, well, that guy's an asshole. Well, okay,
Yeah.
but he's the mentor, and you go, it fucking doesn't work that way, man.
Or you pick a mentor that's already your friend.
Yeah, it
There's
doesn't
no
work
yeah.
that way either. Yeah, so I think one thing's like, one, it has to happen organically. I think people are drawn to people that they want to learn from. They want to be I'm drawn to you because I want to take a piece of you that fits me. I want to take a piece of you that fits me. I don't want to be you.
Mhm.
I want to take the best of Doug White, what I can, and use that to be a better version of me. And I think that when we do that, um, when we take a piece, I can't be you. I can't be you. You can't be me. But there are qualities and philosophies in the way that we carry ourselves and our outlook and viewpoints on addressing issues that I want to emulate.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that it's not a if we're talking about constant never ending self-improvement, that can't be done in a vacuum. You can't become a better version of you without interacting with people that are better than you.
Yeah.
I think that um when we put ourselves in a position, when we surround ourselves with people that push us to be a better version of us in all different, I want to be a better man. I want to be a better father, a better husband, a better entrepreneur, a better human being. I want that only happens if you surround yourself with people that are pushing that same envelope.
Yeah.
And so, you know, being a mentor, I think is just I think it's a gift you give somebody, right? And it's a gift that you don't leave the price tag on it, motherfucker. It's this gift that is given voluntarily, from the heart, because you know what it took you to develop that piece that you're going to give. Like you just didn't have it.
Yeah.
It that piece was crafted. Maybe, we could use this analogy. It was molded and it took a lot of failures and triumphs to be in a position where you can actually add value to somebody's life. And so, like, I think once you get to that place, I think there's a moral obligation. Like,
Yeah.
if we're gonna truly want what's best for everybody in our lives, then we need to be vulnerable enough, open enough, and care enough to be willing to give those pieces of us that we've figured out to the people that we want to see happy and thrive. And that's a two-way street, man. I think,
Yeah.
um, you know, if you're talking, I even think like at the dynamic, maybe at work with the rookie and the senior guy, like both can learn from each other, man. Both have different lenses that they're looking at a situation at, right? And they're different perspectives. And one is, I think, no more valuable than the other. They're
Mhm.
just different. And so I think when we can fill that role, like maybe there's been a situation you've been looking at for the last 6 months, and all you need is somebody else to look at that situation or help you look at that situation from a different angle to give you some clarity so you can move through or beyond. And that's really what this thing's about, man.
I swear we had that conversation on Monday.
Yeah, man. Right. Well, and that's all it is because, like you're, I love Jocko Willink. I love his work. I love his, you know, um, extreme ownership and what is it? Leadership and tactics or whatever the hell the other book is. Leadership
Yeah. Discipline
strategy and
equal
tactics.
freedom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Leadership tactics, the
strategy
field
and
manual. Yeah.
tactics.
Yeah.
Right. And like these are always good books to read and reread because the principles are foundational.
Mhm.
Um, and so like when somebody like that comes along, you know, damn, you had that amazing opportunity to meet him last week in a
So
workout,
cool.
right? I mean,
So
that's
cool.
great. Um, and I don't know where the hell I was going with this, Doug. I completely got off the
It's
rails
the
with that.
importance of being a good mentor
Yeah,
and
man.
mentorship and tribe.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't just happen. It takes some intentionality behind it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think with that, right? Um, we need to be really selective of who we this might have an air of douchebaggery, and I apologize for that. But you know what? I hadn't always been good at having boundaries or protecting myself. I wasn't always good at that. Um, Sometimes I struggled with that. Um, because you don't want to be abrasive or off-putting. Um, but there are some people that are not, that you should not surround yourself with. There are
No,
definitely
I
some
agree.
people that, at a distance, you can wave across the room, man, but don't have a conversation.
Yeah. No,
Don't
there's a
get
list of
close.
a mounting list of those
Yeah.
people that I've been
Yeah.
finding lately.
Right. And that's fine, man. It's, well, I don't even want to say anything more than that because it's just wasted breath. Um, But yeah, I think being very intentional about who you let into your circle. You know, our brother Tom Rizzo says, if the people that you surround yourself with, uh, if they're not supporting you in a positive way, you don't have a circle, you have a cage, and
Yeah.
there's a lot to be said about that, and so being really intentional about who you spend time with and what you talk about when you're spending time together, I think is it's the key to not only being successful but being healthy.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. You have to have boundaries and stick to them. As uncomfortable as they may be for other people, you have to protect your own peace.
Right.
And, you know, you have to. It all comes down to the influences. What you bring into your life is what you put out into the world. I stopped watching the news years ago.
Yeah.
I'll see, okay, here's a highlight of what happened today. But if you watch the news, I don't care what channel it is, you're
No.
going to be on a roller coaster. You're going to be
Yeah.
angry. You're going to be angry at somebody else.
Yeah.
Social media is
I
nothing
think
but highlight
it's
reels of
gonna
somebody else's
skew. Yeah,
shit.
it's gonna skew your
Yeah, it
outlook.
is.
I, you know, and it's again protecting. Setting a boundary.
You have to. You have
Yeah.
to. And everything that you do, man, there's got to be a healthy boundary just to keep yourself healthy. And I mean, it could be your family members, it could be long standing childhood friends. At some
Right.
point, you've got to make the decision
Yeah.
to protect your own peace.
No doubt. No
Um,
doubt.
One of the things, and I'm just starting to realize this, that I really enjoy about this space. And I mean, I see you do this because you know so many people, and there's different layers of John Kelly's inner circle, outer circle, periphery, waving to people across the room. Um, but I have found that the best thing that I've enjoying about being on this journey is one, having people pour into me just for the sole purpose of wanting me to be successful in this and for me to have a clear path to make the impact that I can make.
Right.
That's been wonderful. But the selfish part of that is I get contacted by people and connected with people. Like just the other day, Eric Tung reached out to me and said, "Hey,
Yeah,
there's a couple of
he's another
guys that
good egg,
he's
man.
great, man." And had a
Great.
chance to meet him back in April and have a beer with him, share a meal with him. He is every bit as real as he presents in his social media, on his podcast, on everything that he does.
Yeah, he's a
He
good
is
egg.
that warm hug that you feel with the stuff that he does. But he reached out and he goes, "Hey, man, I'm going to connect you with these two guys. Is that okay?" I'm like, "Bro, I know
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I trust your judgment. You
Of
don't have to
course.
ask me. Just send it, full send."
Right.
And he did, and I connected with one of the guys yesterday and had a what I thought was going to be like a 10-minute conversation because I'm looking at this guy's podcast, the people he's interviewing, his story, and all the stuff that he does. I'm like, man, this guy, he's going to get 10 minutes with me. I'm like, okay, bro, be good.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we were on the phone for an hour, and we were
Oh,
just so excited talking to each other. And he's got such a great story. He's got such a great attitude, and I cannot wait to see what he and his co-host do together and on their own for this space. And we're just talking. And he goes, "Yeah, I think that I want to be a speaker, but I really don't know." And I gave him a John Kelly piece of advice.
okay.
I said, "Well, buddy, you've already got a story, but you
Yeah.
just can't give them a story. You can't come in and trauma dump or, hey, here's the story. Hey, cool story, bro." I
Right.
said, "You have to give them the win. You've got to show them this is what I experienced. This is what I found to make this experience less or make me better or what I learned."
Right.
You've got to give them the tactical takeaways of how to get through that
Right.
because there are people waiting for your story now and how you got through it. And
Right.
I said, You've already got all of that. You just have to piece it together." And I just thought that was awesome because I was like, man, I get to be somebody else's John Kelly. I mean, this
Yeah,
I get
no,
to be somebody's Doug White. So it was really
yeah, man.
cool to be able to
That's
do
great.
that and have that experience with him yesterday. So leads me to my next question for you, man. If you could give some, I'm not going to say young kid coming up, like I've been doing this forever. I'm still standing in the threshold of this thing of ours,
We all are, man.
and
It's a big room, man.
it
It's
is,
a
and
long,
it
it's a long hallway.
there's plenty of room for everybody,
Yeah,
man.
there is. It's huge
Just
room.
if you're doing good work, welcome.
Right.
Um, but if you had an opportunity just to grab a kid that looked like they had something going on, that needed their way, what's the one piece of advice, or what advice would you give them to get started, either in speaking or podcasting or writing, just to get their message out to the people who need it?
Um, well, the advice is different for each of those. So I would say, like, you don't think you're good enough or anybody to start anything. Like, who am I? First, get over that. Right? You got to get over that because that's the thing that keeps you stuck.
This is the
Like, I,
conversation we had last
yeah,
Friday.
right. Who the fuck am I? Right? Who am I? Oh, well, it's bro, I still, when somebody says, "Hey, you're John Kelly," I go, "Yeah, what's up?" Like, like, do I have, was it fucking on my name tag? Like, what? Like, no, like, oh, dude, everybody's just, everybody's just trying to help people not have to fucking go through that storm or
Yeah.
reduce the time that you're in the storm. Like, that's the goal, man. Storm's gonna come. How do we get you through it in the least amount of time, right? With the least amount of damage. Right. That's what we're trying to do. When
Yeah.
we pass, right? Storm's gonna come, embrace it. So I would say one, stop that negative self-talk has to go away. And I can say that, but and so I had a kid named Ark Levy. Kid, he's a grown man. Um, in the professional shooting world, shit hot. He's dialed in. He's a deputy, he's a sergeant. He also was a Sig Sauer shooter, sponsored by Sig. He was like, that's his thing. He also has the Firearms Nation podcast. And he had Jack Carr on his podcast.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. So
Very interesting guy.
yeah, very interesting guy. But so that's Ark. Ark is in that space. And when I started this, sometimes heroes need help. He's like, you need to have a podcast. This will complement you getting the word out. This needs to happen. I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about podcasting. Who the fuck wants to listen to me? Like, why would I got nothing of value to say. He said, then why are you doing this? I do have something to say. I do have value to add. He said, then if you want to add value, this is another vehicle to use to do that. And I'm like, okay, so, and he gave me a list. Get this mic, get this, get this. You can use Zoom, you can use this, you can use Riverside, he gave me everything. He says, and just start. It's going to be horrible. You're going to cringe. He said, but this is one of those things where the only way you get better is by doing. So record yourself, record an introductory clip and put it out there. And then start lining up guests, people that you want to talk to, people that you find interesting. And he said, you can do this. Right. So like everybody needs somebody that will push them out of their comfort zone. Right. That has to happen. Nobody goes, well, I'm going to be excellent at podcasting because nobody fucking starts this. That statement has never come out of anyone's mouth who has been genuine enough in their mission to want to help people or do something like this. Nobody starts this going, I'm the next Joe Rogan. I'm going to be fucking awesome. No, you're just like, oh God. All right, let me try this. And then with repetition, you get better. And when it comes to presenting, so if you're on the job, find your way to training. Find your way to
Amen.
training
Amen.
because that you are mentoring, you are training, you are imparting love and knowledge and guidance and direction on a daily basis. And you don't know that that's what you're doing, but that's what you're doing.
Yep.
And so the reason why, listen, I think I've said this to you a million times. I suck at so many things. Horrible. The one thing that I know I'm good at is connecting with people and delivering my message. And the way I got good at that is I trained 30 deputies a day, 4 days a week for 4 months at a time, and then we switch up the training cycle. That was my and I gotta train cops. I gotta
Yeah.
teach cops. Fucking tough room, man.
We're the worst.
Tough room. And so I realized early on, you had to create an environment so people would relax and not feel judged.
Mhm.
And that we had to laugh. Look at if adult learners, if you're not having fun, you're not learning, right? We don't learn by getting embarrassed in scenarios by SWAT, by the SWAT guys that are running training,
Yeah.
right? So my staff, I had one guy that had an eye that went that way. He's fuck martial arts expert, solid dude. We would cut up on each other. I mean, fuck it. Danny, over here, over here. Are you looking at me? In front of the whole room. And everybody just goes, oh my God, you guys. At the time I was a bodybuilder and I didn't have a follicle of hair on my entire body. And like, I was like smoother than a fucking porpoise, and they would bust my balls
Jesus.
about that. It was just, we would attack each
You and your
other.
analogies kill me.
Oh,
That's as
Doug,
smooth
when
as a
I mean to
porpoise.
tell you, we would attack each other in front of the class and everybody would start laughing. And it was, you could feel the weight
Yeah.
leave the room. And now everybody's laughing. So then now when I bust somebody's balls in the first row, they're part of the team. They're part of
Yeah.
the squad now. They're
Yeah.
in on it. And so we were able, utilizing some humor, our tactics were sound. And when it was time to run and gun, we did hard. But the first 10, 15 minutes of every block of in-service training was a banter, a relaxing, something to get people to realize that they're going to learn a lot today from guys that care about them.
Yeah.
And we're going to use some humor um, to complement that delivery. So that would be some further advice. That is, if you want to get out there and speak in front of thousands of people, be good at speaking in front of a handful. Like, that's the tougher room. The
Yeah.
tougher room isn't the 1,000 people at Fazero. That's not a tough room. The tough room is the 30 guys that all know you.
Yeah. And that want to be someplace else.
Right, right. So I would say that it's not only it's a great opportunity, and if you wanted to write, start journaling. If you want to write a
Amen.
book, start a
Amen.
journal
Yeah.
and record your thoughts. And be it's your journal. You don't have to publish it. But if you are eventually thinking that someday I may like to write a book, get into that practice of writing your thoughts down, finding time to memorialize what you were feeling and why you were feeling what you were feeling during that incident, during a specific time in your life. And I think if you do those things, I think that they put you in a great position to be somebody that has earned the right to care for others. I think.
I
I
like
think
that.
that's the advice I would give, man. It's kind of a three-pronged approach, if you will, to getting and where it goes is completely dependent upon you. That's the other
Yeah.
that's the other negative self-talk. Um, you do you. You do you. And certainly there's things that we can all learn from each other, but um the biggest mistake I see people make is that they're not authentic. They're not themselves. And they try to like I'm not gonna talk the way Jocko talks. I'm not gonna use military analogies for things. I wasn't a Navy SEAL. I don't have that background. That
Yeah.
doesn't fit. It doesn't work for me. I can't present the way you do. This intense calmness, intense these 2 con c contradictory terms you put together and deliver. I can't do that. And you would look fucked up running around screaming, doing the
Yeah.
shit that I do.
Yeah.
You'd be
No,
like,
I can't do that.
"Is Doug having a seizure? What happened? Somebody call 911." Right? I mean, so you're doing you. Tommy is doing him.
Yeah, dude, he's incredible.
Yeah,
I've already said it so many times. It's like he breathes
yeah,
through his skin. I'm like,
yes,
I
and
don't think I saw him take a breath.
yeah,
It
no, and
just
so, like, everybody does their thing, and it's authentic and it's real, and so I think, that's probably the last of the things, is just be
I
authentic, be you.
honestly, I think that that's the key. If you have all those other individual skills and you take the time to journal and see what it is that you think about all of this stuff, the positive self-talk, all of
Yeah,
those things, I think the key to every bit of that and the final touch on all of it at the same time is authenticity because the
yeah,
people that we're going to be speaking to, they know. They know,
dude,
man. And like at Wounded Blue, there's a dude there with a beard that probably can grow a beard. It was magnificent. The big SWAT guy, Jay.
yeah,
And he actually got shot in the face through his optic on a SWAT raid.
yikes,
When he regained consciousness, they were pulling him away from the door and he was trying to reload his mags as they're dragging him away.
yeah,
I've never been shot in the face.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't have his experiences. Like if I tried to match his story with a story that I don't have, you're going to lose him. You're going to lose the entire room. You're going to lose
yeah,
credibility. You are done doing whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in
yeah,
this space. For what?
yeah,
So you can look like the cool guy for an hour?
yeah, no,
No, dude, you've
yeah,
got to own you and be you because the
that's it.
people that we talk to, they know the difference, man. And if
No,
you're always telling the
100%.
truth, you don't have to remember the role.
No
You don't
story
have
to
to.
remember. No,
Exactly.
nothing to
And
remember. Yeah,
I love that. And I see people undoing themselves.
yeah.
Um, so
You don't have
this
to
has
be
a way of
anybody
weaving.
else but you, man.
No, that's
Just
it.
be you.
That's
You're
it.
you're enough. You're
That's it.
enough. Yeah,
Little
man.
Stuart Smalley there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, well, brother, I mean, we should have just hit record when you came on because that was an hour of good thoughts and just bullshitting and catching up. But
Yeah, man.
so you've got um, you've got your show. I know
Do you wanna
that.
talk a second about Wounded Blue?
I do, man. If you've got time,
Doug.
what was your takeaway from that? For me, it was the second time that I spoke. It was the
Yeah,
first time that I had presented that
yeah.
presentation to that group, and um, I don't like casinos, but other than that, I had a good time.
So, other than the smell of weed everywhere we went, and
You know
listen,
what? I'm
if
still pissed that the very expensive dinner that we had that was wonderful and well worth every cent was ruined as soon as we walked out of the
yeah, man,
restaurant.
you got smacked. Yeah, Vegas gotta get their shit together, man. I
Yeah,
don't
dude.
know what they're doing out there, but it's, no, great time. Um, Jesse Watts and Randy Sutton and Bob Bemis and the whole Wounded Blue crew did a great job.
They did, man.
They
That was a
brought
heavy lift, and they made it
Yeah,
look
and,
easy.
you had Travis Yates out there, you had Tom Rizzo and John Mattingly and you and me um, and Jess Flores, and it's just a really great group of people. You had Carrie Matthews and,
Cinnamon
Cinnamon.
was there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
just a
to
great.
meet people that you follow or connect with
Yeah,
on LinkedIn and stuff, it was neat to see all those
yeah,
people.
it was really great. Like, my takeaways can if I can be critical, had you not been there, I probably would not have stayed as long because I realized that I don't like to be away from my Nicole for 5 or 6 days.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's any criticism, I was like, "You know what? Geez, I was away from my wife for too long." But
Yeah.
while we were there, it was awesome. It was the best. It really
Yeah, no,
was.
it was, and I would say the same thing with the being away. I mean, I got there early Sunday because I want to get there and get settled,
Right.
and you didn't come in till later Sunday night. I'm like, well, this is stupid. I'm walking around like I lost my puppy,
Yeah, man, like, what do I do
and
now?
and
Right.
it,
No.
the next morning, well, I got to tell myself I had at least two fangirl moments in Vegas. And the first was on Sunday. I went down to get a sandwich and
Yeah.
was going back in, and Rizzo was there. So
Yeah,
Tom
yeah,
was
yeah.
surrounded by, all of the
Oh,
fans wearing the On Patrol Live
On
t-shirts. And
Patrol
it was,
Live shirts. Yeah.
he's just so gracious. And then we get in the elevator and it's just he and I.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, don't be a fangirl. It's not like this
Oh,
is
gee.
Taylor Swift or some
Did
shit.
you?
Relax. And I was like, hey, Tom Rizzo, Doug White, big fan. Trying to be as cool as I could be. And
Oh my god.
he's like, man, it's good to meet you. Blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
I mean, and he's like, hey, man, this is going to be great. Get a chance. It fits right in your brand to tell the story. I'm like, how does this guy know anything about me? This
Yeah,
is
man.
Tom fucking Rizzo, bro. He was so cool. And then, you text me the next morning, hey, we still going to the gym? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, bro, I'm dressed. I'm just waiting for when am I going to meet you? I go down and he's sitting in the back seat of the car. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
man.
I'm going to go work out with John Kelly and Tom Rizzo. This is so cool.
Yeah, man.
And then to walk in Monday morning and Travis Yates is standing there, I'm like, holy shit, be cool, be
Yeah.
cool. It's
Yeah, yeah.
Travis Yates. You're going to meet Travis. Be
Yeah.
cool. it
What
was
a great
it was
group of
just so
guys, right?
neat to meet everybody and meet John Mattingly and
Yeah, he's such a good dude.
to be able to present with every one of y'all and to learn
Yeah.
more about your stories and interact with the people. It was a really good time. And other than the homesick thing, and full disclosure, man, I've said this 1,000 times. I get homesick when Michelle goes to work.
Isn't that a
So
great thing?
it,
That's a
it
great thing,
dude,
man.
I love it.
It
I
really is a
do.
great
And
thing.
I text her and I know that she's got a corporate job and she's important, but I'm like, I'll send, love you. And then like
Yeah,
2 hours
no.
later, love you too. I'm like, 2 hours? Damn it. I know you got
Yeah.
your phone with you.
Yeah. Listen,
But
you better pick up the pace there, Michelle.
yeah, come on,
Oh
man.
my
You're leaving
God.
me hanging. It's like,
Too
wait,
funny.
she doesn't
Good
love me
stuff.
anymore. It's been 2 hours
Oh,
and she's at work. But
too
no, man,
funny.
I agree. Vegas was great. Going up to dinner with the gang and meeting
Yeah.
everybody and just no, it was really cool, man. So Jesse invited me back for next year. I hope he doesn't forget that because I'm going to remind him that it was a
Nice.
good time. And I really like the group, man. We met a lot of good people there, a lot of good stories and good connections. I think I'm going to enjoy that most, even though being away from home and traveling, getting up there and presenting and being respectful of everyone's time and giving them everything that I have to give them.
Sure.
It was draining.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about that over dinner that night,
Yeah.
but the connections and meeting with people and hearing their stories back,
Sure.
it was well worth it. It's something you could do over and over and over again.
Yeah. No doubt.
So,
No
and
doubt.
I pray
Great
that I get the
experience.
opportunity for that. I hope that I have the longevity and the resiliency to be able
Yeah.
to continue to do this.
There's no doubt in my mind. That's the way it's going to shake loose.
I hope so.
100%. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Good times. Dude, we are just getting started, man.
Yeah,
We are
no,
just
I'm
getting
not going anywhere
started.
anytime soon.
That's
So
right.
I told Michelle about your thing with armadillos. I was not going to get on it here on the podcast, and she was just looking at me, and I was crying on the couch, telling her,
Yeah.
"Hey."
Yeah. Well, listen, um, they are the scourge of Palm Coast.
Armadillos are the scourge of Palm Coast. Got
They
it.
are. Yeah, man.
Enemy number one.
Yeah, listen,
Just your garden, nobody
hold on.
else's. Oh Jesus, dude, we don't have to get into this. People are going to think you're a monster.
So my father-in-law, so for the listener,
I expected this thing to be like white porcelain. This is for real.
and it's got, see the hash marks?
Yes.
So that's 5. 5 of these little bastards have been dispatched, and will no longer be digging holes in my yard. Compliments of my Gemtech Oasis suppressed 1022 rifle. So yeah, man,
I'm going to send this to Jim Tech, see if we can get a sponsorship for this episode.
Gemtech, listen, I've got some other rifles that need to be suppressed. So,
John Kelly endorses Jim Tech for dispatching armadillos.
Gemtech, yep, dispatching armadillos. So,
well, if you support armadillos, you support ISIS. So,
well,
get on board.
They're the same.
They're the ISIS of the garden.
They are terrorists.
Well, brother, let's wrap up, man. Where can everybody find you? I mean, anybody who's listening to me, you already should be following John Kelly. But if you're the one that's not, where can people get a hold of you, man?
So I'm not a big social media guy until I decided to get out in this space. So I'm real active on LinkedIn, and Facebook and all that. My website, lawenforcementlifecoach.com, has links to the podcast and all that good stuff. And it's when I present, I put my number up, 954-292-1942. I mean, that's my cell. And so I try to be available. I've got a national network of people that care. I've got people that, if you're having trouble with trauma or coping and dealing with, I got Dan Jarvis, Healing the Hero. I mean, just so many people out there doing great things for our people, and they're just not, it's on the cuff. Like, these services are not, people are not looking to capitalize and make bank on you. Like, they just genuinely want you to be healthy, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And so all those resources are meaningless unless you're willing to pick up the phone or send the email.
Yep.
Right. So, but thank you for putting that out there. Yeah. lawenforcementlifecoach.com is probably the best way to get in touch with me.
Well, good. And speaking of resources, I've got a shout out to Greg Grogan and the crew over the Overwatch Collective. I got my t-shirt in the mail.
Nice.
It's fantastic. A couple of coins and some cards I'm going to hand out at the sheriff's office, but the Overwatch Collective, they're doing great stuff too. I mean, there's so many out there. You could have a web page of nothing but resources. And I actually need to update mine. I've gone through and vetted a few pretty solid resources, Boulder Crest being one of them.
You're going to be doing some work with them hopefully soon. Yeah, man.
Fingers crossed, man. Anywhere I can be of service and help. I don't come in with an ask, so I'm pretty easy to take advantage of because I just want to help. But we'll see where it all goes, man.
Up and to the right, man. Up and to the right.
That's it. All right, brother. I appreciate you. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to tell this story, and we'll catch you next time. Be good, brother.
God bless.
That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Tell This Story. Thank you for staying in the fight. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with one person who needs it. Check out the show notes for our guest contact information and all their socials. Follow Tell This Story on the platform of your choice. Hit like and subscribe. Every rating helps get our voices to the people who need it most. Get your copy of my book, Hiding in Plain Sight, The Truth About Trauma, Service, and the Way Forward. It's now available on Audible, and you can get it anywhere you get your books. Tap into more information about this platform or resources for vets, responders, and their families at DougWhiteOfficial.com. We'll see you next time.